Hey everyone, this is Lauren Mack with Hacking the Rat Race. In this video, I'm going to share with you 8 common money habits that are keeping you poor and how to stop these habits now. Many experts are saying that we're beginning to head into a deep recession. So now is the perfect time to identify some of these bad money habits that might be holding you back and change these habits now so that you can be in a better position in the event of a recession. I know I have been guilty of many of these myself, but once you're aware of them and you can change your habits, and you will be shocked at how much quicker you will be able to grow your wealth. If you stay until the end of this video, I'm going to give you a tip that can change your money habits even quicker and easier. So let's jump right in. Let's face it, most of us learn money habits from family, friends, or just by learning the hard way. Unfortunately, money habits are not taught in school, which I personally believe is intentional to keep everyone stuck in debt, tethered to the 9-to-5 rat race until you can hopefully retire in the final years of your life. And if you're anything like me, then that sounds like complete torture and way too long to wait to start living the life I want. However, the good news is that while managing your money may seem overwhelming and confusing at first, when you learn the basic principles, it is actually easy and fun to master your money and get out of the grind as soon as possible. The first money habit is only focusing on one stream of income. So many people only focus on one stream of income, the money they make at work. They think about getting a raise, changing jobs, increasing their salary. Well, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make more money. In fact, it's great. It is more important to work on building as many income streams as possible. This could be investing in real estate, dividend stocks, regular stocks, getting interest, or even creating your own assets, like writing an ebook. You create it once, and then you get paid every time someone purchases it. Changing this one habit and focusing on creating more streams of income can exponentially grow your money and build wealth over time. There are 2 ways to build wealth. One is cutting back expenses, and the other is creating more income. Creating more income and not focusing on one income stream will help you build wealth so much faster. If you're thinking, that's great, Lauren, but I have no idea how to invest in real estate or buy stocks, I get it. But I promise you, it is not difficult and can be broken down very easily. I have so many other videos that can help you with that, and I will put a list of them in the show notes below. The next money habit is investing while you have debt. And you might be thinking, what all the people say is invest, invest, invest. Yes, that is true. You should invest early and as much as possible. But first, you need to pay off your debt or at least look at the interest rates you're paying on your debt. Let me give you a quick example. Let's assume you have a credit card and the interest rate's 20%, which is actually not a bad interest rate as they can often be as high as 27%, especially for cards with large rewards. Now, let's say you're investing in the stock market and the historical return is 9%. If you subtract 9 from 20, you have 11. That means you're actually losing 11% each month. Even if you were getting a 20% return on the stock market, which is remarkable, you would still not be making any money. Something else people forget to factor in is inflation. Let's say you only have a 7% interest rate on your debt and you'll be able to get 9% in the stock market. Then that seems good, right? Because you're getting a 2% return on your investment. However, long-term inflation is normally calculated at about 3%. So in this case, you would still be losing 1%. Again, quickly to recap, get your interest rate on your debt, subtract the interest rate on your investment, and then be conservative and subtract 3. If the number is negative, then you should pay off your debt first. If the number is positive, then you would be making a better return investing. Here's one last thing to consider when you're paying off your debt. You are getting an automatic return on investment in the interest that you're not having to spend. So for example, if your credit card has a 20% interest rate and you pay that off, you are automatically getting a 20% return on your investment instead of having to pay that interest later. To build actual wealth, you must look at the numbers. The next money habit is buying into all the hype about what you're supposed to have, and that if you don't have a certain lifestyle car, clothes, or the latest and greatest, you haven't #made it. This habit is one of the largest wealth killers and really one of the biggest lies. More often than not, when someone has to show you how rich they are, it's because they're actually broke. It doesn't take a lot of money to finance a rich life, especially considering that each year loan terms get longer and longer, which just means people will be getting broker and broker. You've #made it when your passive income covers your lifestyle and you can break out of the rat race. If people are judging you because you are not keeping up with the Joneses, then they aren't your friend. But the best part is, if you learn how to become financially free and actually do it, then I can assure you they will be the one that will be jealous when you are living your life on your own terms and they're still trapped in the rat race. The next money habit is the fear of facing your finances. This is a really serious money habit that impacts many people. Some people avoid it because they've been taught or shown that personal finance is overwhelming and confusing and that there's so many numbers and it's so hard to figure out. There's also people who fear facing their finances because they don't want to see how much debt they're actually in or what getting out of debt might look like. Instead, it's easier just to avoid it completely and pretend like there isn't a problem. This is a common money habit. So if you have this habit, don't feel bad about it. This is a judgment-free zone. However, I just want to tell you that you don't have to fear your finances. Where you are is where you are, and that is just fine. The important part is that you face them and that you move forward. A great way to do this is to have a money date with yourself or your significant other. This doesn't have to be an extravagant date or even going out. You could stay in, get a bottle of wine, chocolate, cook your favorite meal. The main thing is that you're in a positive, relaxed environment. Then, give yourself an hour or so and just look at your finances. Don't beat yourself up. Just try to look at them objectively and see where you are and go from there. If you feel like finances are overwhelming or confusing, then just take a deep breath and know that learning about personal finances can be easy and broken down into simple steps. The very first step is looking at your finances and just seeing how much debt you have and what your current spending habits look like. The worst thing you can do is just keep ignoring them. They're still there regardless, so it's best to take a look at them as objectively as possible and make a plan to move forward. The next money habit is not having a plan for your money. This occurs when someone does not track their spending or create a budget. Creating a budget is very important. So many people view their budget as a torture device where they have to cut everything out and are not able to have fun. This is not the case. Having a budget is simply having a plan for your money and creating goals. If you don't have a plan, then you can't get where you want to go, and it's very rare that someone just stumbles into wealth. Rich people don't just stumble into it. They have made a plan, took the first steps, and executed. I would also like to have that having a budget doesn't have to be a laborious task that you have to do each month. In fact, I have a super simple set it and forget it budget video where you can create a budget and you only have to look at it once per year. I'll link to it above and in the show notes below. Creating a plan for your money and setting goals is one of the most important first steps to fast tracking wealth. The next money habit is not having an emergency fund. I always recommend having an emergency fund equal to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. This is so important, and so many people neglect this one simple habit. Oftentimes, instead of having an emergency fund in cash, people will instead use their credit card to help them out of a difficult situation. Avoid doing this. Having an emergency fund available for you to dip into in case of job loss, a surprise medical bill, a car accident, or any other foreseen event can help you from having to incur more debt. Not only can it keep you from getting further into debt, but it can also give you a peace of mind knowing that if something happens that is unplanned, you'll be okay. Always keep this money available to you in liquid cash for easy access, preferably in a high-yield savings account. I made a video called The Best High-Yield Savings Accounts, How to Save Money Even Faster. I'll put a link to it above and in the show notes below. The next money habit is accepting debt as a way of life. Every year that passes, this is more and more common. A truckload of debt is just normal. And how are you going to survive without it? I honestly believe the marketing of debt, coupled with the fact that they purposely don't teach personal finance in school, is made to keep everyone stuck in the rat race and stuck in the grind. This is not normal. And if you want to be free, own your own time, and live your best life, then you have to reject this and see it for what it is. There are times when debt can be used as leverage. An example of buying a profitable rental property that someone else is paying for while making you wealthy. Yes, that is okay. But getting a huge home loan, a car loan, a student loan, several credit cards, furniture loan, literally, it seems like these days you can almost get a loan for anything. This is the quickest way to lose your wealth and rob you of your future wealth. Please learn from others' mistakes, including mine, and take a better path. I had student loan debt. I one time got a new car with 0% interest. I had credit card debt, and so on. I even knew better. I don't do these things now, but sometimes you just get sucked in. I totally get it. But as soon as you can see what the purpose of this debt is really for, to keep you stuck in the race, grinding it out until one day when you're really old and tired, you might enjoy the last few years of your life. You can make changes. You can get out of debt and stay out of debt. The sooner you can do this, the sooner you'll be on your way to building true wealth and breaking out of the rat race. The next money habit is paying too much in taxes. Now, I know that you're probably thinking, this is just a rich person's problem, or maybe, hey, I don't want to do anything illegal. This is not what I'm talking about. There are so many ways for people to legally reduce taxes that they don't often understand, and that this is an important part of any good financial strategy. For example, by investing in real estate, you can often offset your tax liability by using depreciation on your rental properties. You can often reduce your taxes by maxing out your annual contributions to your IRA or your employer-sponsored retirement account like a 401k. There are so many ways to legally reduce your taxes. A good idea is to invest some time researching how you can benefit from this. Also, comment below if you'd like me to make future videos about ways you can save money with your taxes. I also recommend investing in a good accountant. They are experts in this area, and even though it may cost more to hire them to do your taxes, they can often make the investment worthwhile based on how much money they can save you. If you want to learn more about IRAs, Roth IRAs, and 401ks, I have a video called IRAs versus Roth IRAs versus 401ks. I'll link to it above and in the show notes below. And actually, now that I think about it, I have a bonus money habit, which is avoiding lifestyle creep. This is very common and sometimes happens without people realizing it, especially if they don't have a plan for their money. Why? Because naturally, when we make more money, we think we can afford more things. And sometimes this is even framed as deserving more, bigger, and better things. This is the fastest way to erode wealth, resources, and stay poor. If you have a budget and make more money, then work on putting that money to work to build more income streams. And then put that money to work to build more income streams. And before you know it, your wealth is growing rapidly. This doesn't mean that you can't ever reward yourself or spend more of your money, but you need to make a plan for it and manage it instead of letting all your money be taken by more stuff. I promised you a tip that can help change your money habits even quicker and easier, and that is automating your finances. If you automate your finances, then you'll be able to manage your finances so much easier because you can literally set it and forget it. When the money hits your account, you'll only see your spending money, which will make it way less tempting because the rest is out of sight, out of mind. If you want to learn how to do that step by step, then watch this video right here.